So, first things first, how are you?
I'm good, thank you. A bit
That's
tired,
good to
but
hear.
I'm good. Oh, good.
So, yeah, you have a record out. Is it like a burden off your shoulders now?
Yeah, it is in a way because I feel like I've had this album as a secret for so long. I've been listening to all the songs by myself, like usually driving in Ubers, and like I'm so familiar with all these songs, so it just feels really good that people sort of know what I'm talking about now.
Was it difficult to keep it to yourself?
Yeah, it was. It was more like having something that you were super proud of, that you wanted to, show off to the world, but you weren't allowed.
And well, now it's out. And has it already changed for you? Because it's always, like you say, it's been done for a while. You had these songs in your mind for a while. Have they already started to change for you in the way you see them and the way?
The songs, yeah, they've changed in a way that people have gave me their opinions or they've told me how they relate to the songs or how they feel like how they think what message I'm sort of trying to say might not be the same as what I mean, but they interpret it in a different way. And so that shows the songs in a different light to me.
Right.
And that's something that I'm really sort of like fascinated by because I love figuring out and knowing how fans sort of see what I'm trying to say, but in a different way. I think that's really cool.
Can you give me an example of that? Is there one song in particular that had this?
My Obsession, that seems to be one that people sort of think is that I wrote about like someone that I'm really sort of obsessed with. Whereas that's not the case. I wrote it about, well, My Obsession has a lot of different influences, but the main one is me watching a relationship from the outside from two people. But a lot of people sort of relate it as to like their loved ones that they're in a relationship with, whereas it was actually me spectating a relationship.
That's quite interesting because a lot of the songs on the album are very personal. They're very direct as well. I think. But are there certain songs that seem very personal that are more about people you see or experiences you see around you? Or is this very much your inner?
Yeah, like this album is very about me and about sort of what goes on in my mind and like the people that I encounter with, my family members, my friends, lovers. Yeah, this album is very about me. But then again, the songs on there like Red, that's about like somebody else completely. Like it's not really about me. Or it's about like me telling the story of like me and that other person. But like there's songs like Noises, Drive, and then Karl that are sort of like really personal.
I want to try and go through the album a little bit based on lyrics, and we can see how far we get.
Okay.
But one of the things is in Drive you write, I like to be alone most of the time. And then this I think refers to you in high school or around that period.
Yeah, well,
Or is it still?
even now, like a lot of the time, like I think something that I find really difficult about being in this position and being in a band that is getting quite popular is the fact that you have to sort of be this person and be available to almost everyone. And sometimes that's the most difficult part for me because I'm very much a loner and I enjoy like my own company. Like I could just sit in a room with like a piano all day and not speak to anyone and be so content and happy. But like that lyric is very relevant right now.
When was the last time you had a chance to do that?
I couldn't even tell you. Maybe in college.
Really?
Yeah.
So how is because you've spoken quite a bit about your friendship with Ciara and how has that affected? Like you say, you like to be by yourself, but how has opening yourself up kind of to her kind of
Yeah,
affected
it's really odd because like I could be in the most antisocial mood ever, and the only person that I wouldn't mind being in a room with is Ciara. Like there's just something about her that like, well, she really understands me. Like she really gets me like more than anyone out there really. So like we have this thing where by how my mouth is like sitting, she can tell what mood I'm in.
Okay.
So like if I wake up in the morning and like my mouth, like I'm doing something with my mouth, she's like, what's wrong? Why are you upset? Or like if I'm doing another thing with my mouth, she's like, why are you angry? Who pissed you off? Like that's how well like we
That's
know
how
each other.
close.
Yeah, like she can tell by just my mouth.
Okay. Because, well, what you mentioned, the fact that you have to be on, as it were, all the time, did you expect that, or kind of could you prepare for that? As you were, because it's only been
Yeah.
about 2 years from.
I know it has. I mean, this is a start, isn't it? So, I don't. Well, when I started the band, like I didn't really think about that side of it at all. I just thought, I get to write my music. I get to play it every night. This is going to be amazing, and obviously it is. And we travel the world, but I feel like I'm a very sort of. I like to keep myself to myself a lot of the time, most of the time, and I'm still adjusting to not being able to do that anymore. And sometimes it does really sort of affect me on certain days because then like I have to do all this during the day and then I have to go on stage and like be on show to everyone again. So it's like when I can like just I was saying to Ciara like I'd be happy if like I got locked away in a room for a month at this point and just wrote. Like I'd love to go to like a cabin in Scotland or Ireland and just like have no phone.
Couple of books.
Yeah, just play music and just be alone for a bit. I say this now, but then like after 2 days, I'll be like, I need at least one person. One person is fine.
No, but I can imagine because it's quite a switch from where.
Oh God, yeah. Like before we started the band, like I was very alone because that's what I enjoy. Or like I'd have like the odd, like few friends.
In that sense, then, and this kind of ties in with, I suppose, Loveless Girl as well. But do you think people have certain misconceptions about you?
Yeah, I do. And don't get me wrong, like I can be a really social person when I want to be, but like 75% of the time, I'm not. I'm usually my most sociable when I'm drunk. Like when I'm drunk, it's literally all about me. No one else can get like this is an ongoing joke with like my band because like I turn into this. It's like everything like it all comes out when I'm drunk.
Okay.
So like I'm literally like when Charlie shaved his head in America, that was because of me.
Okay.
Because I was so hyper and it's like I explode sometimes because I think like it takes a while for me to become social and then when I do it's like everyone pay attention to me right now. So what were we saying? Sorry,
Well,
went off on one.
no, we can go on because tying into this, then is it a confidence thing in a way? When
I
you're
think
being-
that definitely plays a part of it. Like I'm adjusting to going on stage and seeing all these videos, all these pictures of me that like I wouldn't normally. I mean, that's not very natural, is it? So it definitely like I can feel my life changing and I have to adapt to that. I have to accept myself more. I've realised.
Because one thing that struck me about Loveless Girl, and I wrote down, you've not changed in the way you've not changed in the way you look at me, but I was never who you wanted me to be. So when you go back home and when you're around family, do you notice changes that people see you differently or anywhere?
Yeah, they do, and I think that's obvious that they're going to feel like that. Like my mum, obviously my family still treat me exactly the same, but most of the conversation is about the band and about me. And like I have to say to him sometimes, I just say to him, can we just not talk about that side of things just while I'm home for a bit? Can you just give me like, I just want to sit on the sofa with my dogs and just, you know, watch movies. And like sometimes like it does get overwhelming for me, so like I can't bear to think what it's like to be someone who's like worldwide famous,
Right.
like Taylor Swift or Justin Bieber. Like that must be hard.
What kind of pops into my head now is I think we've talked in a previous interview about ambition, and you want to kind of
Yeah.
be as big as you can get. But then probably that what you now mentioned
It's
is
gonna
part
get
of it.
yeah. I know, and I have to accept that. Like that's just what comes with it, isn't it? But I feel like I will get used to it. It's just me and how I feel, and it's how I've always been. So for me to sort of adjust to not being able to be like that anymore is just what I'm going through at the moment.
But is music then always the center where the thing that you can return to?
Yeah,
and
100%. Like when I'm feeling my worst, what I do is I just go and pick up my guitar or play piano, and that's the only thing that can sort of like make me feel relaxed and at ease and happy again.
In these instances, do you ever listen to your own music, or is it always kind of playing something? Or
Yeah, sometimes when I'm super sad, I'll listen to Karl.
okay.
Because in a way, it makes me feel happier, not sad.
That's interesting, because I remember last time we spoke about hide and seek, and
Yeah.
how that, and it kind of now made sense to me as well, listening to that song. But
Yeah.
that's interesting.
I think it's because it reminds me of Karl. So then, like, it brings back happy thoughts, even though it's a super sad song.
Right. And the way, especially with a song like that, where the way you, it's very small, it's just acoustic guitar, and what was it like recording a song like that?
It was really different because obviously I had done stuff like that in the past when I was like in college, and growing up, but nothing ever quite serious. And obviously we did the whole album, and Karl was like one of the last tracks to record. And it was really nice because it seemed very easy. Like we recorded it in maybe about like 2 hours, everything. And it was really peaceful. It was just like me and the producer, and I think Ciara was there. And I just sat there and we like lit the room really nicely. It's very aesthetic. Yeah, it was just really peaceful, and it was just a nice change.
Okay. Finally, then, because well, the album's out now. Does that mean that you have now a whole slew of new ideas already in your mind?
Yeah, we've started writing new music. Got lots of songs on the go. I felt like I wouldn't be able to write for a good while because, like, obviously with the album, I wrote so much, and I was concerned that I had nothing else to say. But apparently, I do, which is good.
Very last question. And what have you found? Because this is, like you say, very, very personal, very much about your experiences over the last years. Is what you're writing now a continuation of that, or are you?
It's a bit of both, really. I want to sort of be less self-centered when it comes to writing, and not write everything about me or about other people that I'm associated with. I want to write, but I feel like I need to sort of build up to that, and I need to become a better songwriter before I start like thinking about these other subjects, because I would hate to write a song and put it out there and feel like I could have done it more justice, you know, leaving it a bit later on until like I'd got a bit older.
Right.
So I'm trying to make a conscious decision to write about more things and about me and love.
Heather, thank you very much for
No,
your
thank you.
time. Thank you.
Nice to see you again.
You too.